Hi, most people lack common sense, but you don't need any to set up this fucking turret system. Let me show you how. It's so easy. Okay, so the turret we're going to be working on today is this phalanx that I stole from the toolbox. And we are going to start by selecting one of the pre-existing turret models. We're going to take the one that's most similar to what we're working on. And since the phalanx is a Gatling gun, it's got 9 barrels, we are going to take the only Gatling gun here, and we're going to put it right next to it. We're going to line up the rotations, and we're going to open the turret model that we just took. Go to custom turret. This is where all the visual assets, all the 3D models that make it look cool are sitting. Delete them all. Go to the turret that you want to set up with the system, and we can start dropping stuff in. So base assets. This is stuff that will stay fixed to whatever you set the turret to weld itself to. This stuff won't move at all. There is nothing on this turret that doesn't move, so we're going to leave that blank. Traverse assets. This is stuff that moves side to side but not up and down. This is the only part on this turret that does that, so we're going to drop it right in. Everything else is something that moves up and down as well as side to side. It is an elevating asset, so we're going to drop it all in elevation assets with the exception of this barrel. Spinning barrel assets is only used on Gatling guns, and this is a Gatling gun, and so we're going to drop the barrel in here. And by doing that, the barrel is going to spin when the turret shoots. So now we can go to the parts that actually matter. I'm going to sort out the seat real quick. This is the default seat that comes with the turret. We're going to delete it because we're going to replace it with the seat that came with a new turret, and we're just going to drop it in and delete the old model. Okay, next, bullet spawns. Bullet CF is where the bullets are going to come out when you pull the trigger. We're going to put this right up near the top barrel. Now, if you have a turret with multiple firing points, then you can clone the bullet CF and have it so that the turret will shoot out of multiple places. That works, that's fine, and I'll show you more on that later. But we're just going to position this right there. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, barrel spin origin. This is the axis on which the barrel is going to spin. So we're going to copy the position of the barrel, and we're going to put it right inside, and there, it's lined up. Base. This is non-moving, and just put it in a reasonable position. It doesn't really matter where it is. It'll work either way. Just don't put it like 1,000 studs away. Thanks. Camera part is where the camera's going to be centered when you sit in the turret. We're going to set this in the same position as the base, and then we're going to move it up right over this giant white thing. Direction origin is where the aiming vectors are going to be generated from. You want to put this in the center of the turret behind the barrel. So right here. Yeah, that should be fine. Elevation pivot is the axis that it's going to tilt up and down on. So we're going to position this as best as we can. About there. Traverse pivot is the same thing except it's side to side, and I'm going to position this with the base, and that should be fine. So now I get to go to settings. In ammo type, this is the type of ammo that the turret's going to use. All the ammo types are located in replicated storage, weapon framework, rep, ammo types, and here you can see every single type of ammunition. You can see its damage, its explosive settings, its particles. We're going to use 30mm because I think this gun shoots 30mm. This is just a string value, you can type the name in. Armed by default is whether the turret's automatically on when you sit down. If it's off, then you have to press the arm button. Barrels fire simultaneously only matters if you have multiple firing points. If this is checked off, then every time the turret goes to shoot, it'll shoot all of the firing points at once. And let me show you. This gun has multiple firing points. So when this is on, all these are going to shoot at once. When this is off, however, these are going to shoot in an order. This one's going to shoot, then this one's going to shoot, then this one's going to shoot, then this one's going to shoot. It's going to go back to the start. You can control this by setting this order number value inside the bullet CFs. Where's the next setting? It is right here. Cursor color. I'm gonna make mine red. Gunner seat. We're gonna delete this and we're gonna set it to the seat, the new seat. Max ammo is the maximum amount of ammo the turret can have. Max spread in degrees controls the bullet spread. Muzzle velocity is how fast the bullets come out, or how fast they're going. Overheat time is how long it takes for the gun to overheat when the trigger's held down. RTPU stands for reload time per unit, and this is the length of time in seconds it takes the reload tool to put another bullet in the turret. And I would just leave this how it is. Recoil power is the shake of the camera when you shoot. I'm gonna crank this up to 0.2 because this thing's fucking huge. Rounds per minute is, yeah, everyone knows what this is. I'm gonna make this 3000 because this thing shoots really fast. Seat rotates, controls whether the seat traverses with the turret. If this was checked, then the seat would rotate when the turret did. But the seat's on the base plate, so I'm not gonna check it. Shooting sound loops controls whether or not the shooting sound you're using is a sound that's supposed to loop. So if you listen to this sound is supposed to loop. It's a continuous sound and you don't want this playing once every time a bullet comes out of the barrel. Inside shooting sound loops you can see all the different points in the sound that correspond to different events happening, like the trigger being pulled or released. And that's better explained in this README. Turret name. Yeah. Weld to is the thing that you want the turret to weld to. And, oh shit, what did I do? I'm going to set this to the base plate. This could be the floor of a plane, or the roof of a tank turret, or the deck of a ship, as long as it's not, you know, not a part. Going to aim settings. Elevation speed and traverse speed are pretty explanatory. I'm going to change this to a minimum of -20 and a maximum of 90. And this turret can spin a full 360 degrees, so I'm going to make this false. And one last thing, we want to make sure that the parts of the turret are not anchored, and none of these seem to be. If you want to be sure, you can just click this anchor button and then unclick it, and everything will unanchor itself. But if anything in the turret is anchored, it's not going to frickin' work. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, let's test it. So we're gonna wait for my MSI whitelist to load. When you test, you're gonna test in game if you want full functionality, because MSI whitelists only load in Studio, because this is me working on Blizzard. Alright, let's shoot. And it seems to work fine. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so that is how you set up a turret. It's pretty easy. And I'm gonna be surprised if anyone comes in my DMs being like, oh my god, I tried to follow the video and I couldn't fucking set it up. But it's still gonna happen. I have too much faith in you people.